what's up, EFN?
Yo, what's up, Manny Digital?
Nah. See, you got extra. you sound like you just came from Art Basel type of voice. How was that?
Yo, I'm watching you on Zoom and it's like a kung fu flick. Your voice sound doesn't match your movements.
So you see, I will.
No, now you're good.
Just howling.
The internet caught up with you.
Damn.
The metaverse caught up with you. Yeah, Art Basel, man. You know,
you was out there.
I only did one day of Art Basel. You know, that's parent life.
But what was it like? You were hosting some stuff, or you were just?
Yeah, I mean, we got asked. We, as in Drink Champs, got asked to get involved in things. We didn't commit. We didn't lock into anything, unfortunately. Some good things that we missed out that we were invited to be a part of. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. They had reached out to have Drink Champs involved in one of their events. Just couldn't coordinate it between me and Nori to lock something in. But what I did get involved in is Rock the Bells, who are also my partners with Coming Home.
Word.
They did a yacht party on Saturday, and I went.
Was it one of those like all white dressed all in white?
No. I wouldn't even go to something like that. I don't think I've ever been to an all white party.
I think you need to go to. Well, you down with Revolt, so Puff needs to invite you to an all white party. That's what needs to happen.
When a Guayabera, I look like a straight like Santero.
That works, bro.
That actually, yeah, I'll try it that way. But I'll immediately spill something on my whiteness. But I went to the yacht party. It was dope. Shout out to Rock the Bells and everybody involved. It was a little chaotic in the beginning because it was capacity. When I got there, it was already to capacity of the boat. So it was like, like a thing to try to get in there. But they took care of me. Shout out to everybody I met there. And then we went to the Monster Energy activation. Shout out to the Monster fam as well. Big Drain was out there snapping shots, Drain flicks. And shout out to Jay and Zeke and everybody. We were there, and then we went to the West Side Gun show.
Oh, I must
have been Alapata. It's like we went from most luxurious all the way to the hood. So
wait,
and everything
West
in between.
Side Gun was in Alapata?
Yeah, so these a homie of ours, this Cuban dude, he has a pretty dope story. He has in my mind, it's a apartment building, but it's a crib. It's a crib on the corner in a neighborhood in Alapata that apparently his grandma had, and he took it over when she passed away. And the whole place is in honor of his grandma. He calls it la esquina de la abuela.
Yep.
Apparently his grandma was a anti-revolutionary, but she started out as a revolutionary in the mountains with the Fidel and them in Cuba. I'm assuming with Fidel and them because that's where they all started.
Right.
But quickly realized that this is before everybody knew that they were going to be communists. This is the story he's telling me. And when you go to the crib, like, he gave us like the tour of the crib and he shows all these old pictures, really dope. And he's telling us how, like, she realized that she was, that these people were communists that, before she even came down from the mountain. But at that point, she had become like a lieutenant in the guerrilla warfare, like La Guerrilla, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she joined the forces that came in with the Bay of Pigs, I believe. Either she joined the forces or came to America and then joined the forces. One way or the other, she was in the Bay of Pigs. You know what I'm saying? So he's got ill pictures of her with rifles and, looking all military with the beret and everything. And
that's dope.
Super dope story. And that's the spot. And he took over the spot and he's made it like a hub for artists. So he allows international artists to come in and crash there at the crib.
Oh, wow.
For free. He created a nonprofit. And somehow it's an event space as well, but it's bugged out because it's in the middle of a neighborhood on the corner in Alapata. I think Alapata is the Dominican area here.
I was going to say, it's like, from what the few times I've been over there, is to go to El Típico, the club.
Is Típico in Alapata?
I feel like maybe it's bordered. No, I don't know now. But in any case, I've cruised through there a couple times, and it's like Dominican hood.
Oh, no, that's the Dominican hood.
Yeah,
that's what it's known for, at least. But what was funny that struck out when we were there is that the people out there. First of all, this guy's throwing a full-on concert in the middle of a neighborhood. That's crazy by itself.
Like in the street, like it poured out into the street.
No, in like the backyard.
Oh
Like
shit!
he has the corner lot, so it's pretty big, and he puts tents and whatnot and stages, but it's outdoor though, so you're hearing this in the whole
Everywhere.
neighborhood. And then the other funny part is, as we park in the neighborhood and we're walking, you see like the Christmas lights, and people have the Christmas lights, and then they have speakers outside the crib playing music. Not they're not having a party outside. That's part of the Christmas decorations.
Right.
Them blasting music out of the, that would never fly in my hood. You know what I'm saying? And you walk by and like this person has like bachata or whatever, and then like this person is playing reggae, like this person's playing hip hop outside.
Wow. And that's just all like mishmashing as you go down the block.
Right, and then you get into the Griselda show coming down the street on the like in La Abuela. pretty dope, pretty dope. But yeah, so that was my Art Basel experience. And the way I live life now is I try to like jam pack everything into, like if I'm going out of the crib, it's you gotta put everything into that time frame that that normally I would spread out in more days.
So, and you do that because family time, obviously, and trying to be there
Right.
for your kids and your lady. But how stressful is that, right? Because so whatever makes it into your schedule makes it, and then you basically have to close it off and find other time if there's other opportunities for you to be involved in. But just thinking about Art Basel and how loaded front to back that thing is usually for just the casual person to go and be a part of. For
Right.
you, given your circumstances, like I'm sure there was a lot of shit going on, but like that particular day in the context of you being a father, how rough was it?
That specific day?
Yeah, that specific day.
I mean, the day wasn't particularly rough. I mean, it was just like just a long day. You wake up and you do all the things with the kids, and you try to like kind of be a little bit more present because you're gonna leave. And then
So you go the extra mile knowing that you're not going to be there for a while.
I don't know if I or my girl would call it the extra mile. I'm just saying I try to be more present than maybe a little bit less on my phone working, or a little bit less, not whatever, just trying to be more proactive with the kids. I think. And then when my daughter goes to sleep is when I leave, because the other thing too with my daughter right now, she's very like, she's a daddy's girl, so she doesn't want me to leave. And if I say I'm going to leave and she's not in school, that's an issue too. Like, and that makes me feel like crap when she's not. Now that she goes to school, weekends are precious because I get to spend more time with her. It overall, man, all of this, I'm still trying. We say it all the time. I'm like I'm beating a dead horse. I'm still trying to figure it out. You don't know what's right, what's wrong. You don't know how much. It's a catch-22. You gotta hustle. You gotta work to pay the bills. But at the same token, time is precious. We've all learned that it could all be gone tomorrow. Something could happen to a loved one or to yourself, and you would regret not spending that time. So it's like it's really hard gauging and like weighing out what's more important. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough. I'm sure. I'm imagining it's tough for everybody. I really think about like how does everybody deal with it. And then another thing, it's funny. I'm gonna throw something really quick in the mix, which so Charlie, my boy Charlie, he's like, yeah, bring that up in fatherhood. And I'm like, all right, buddy. So then so my boy Charlie, and shout out my boy Rich. Rich has 5 kids. Charlie has 1. But Charlie's kid is older. She's out.
Wait, Rich has 5 from
5
Coming
kids.
Home Haiti? Rich?
Yeah, he has 5 kids.
I didn't think he had a single kid.
Bro,
Wow.
while he's trying to go for he kept trying to go for a girl, and he had twin boys. And the girl was the last one.
Okay. So he achieved his goal. It just took 5.
With his Dominican ex.
Wow.
So they were right up your alley, bro. It's the same island, Española. Like they try to have a million babies. You guys are the same thing.
Well, yeah. I should have known. Like Haitian Dominican. Yeah, we go for the gusto.
So Charlie, they both were discussing with me about like the same thing, like if I'm taking away from the hustle with the family, blah blah blah. And then the other thing too is Charlie's just like on some selfish, he's like, yo, but you don't hang out with with the boys anymore. Like, you know,
All your boys say that. All your boys got you like, yo, fuck E. He don't do nothing no more with us.
it's true. And I'm just like, yo, but what is wrong with these motherfuckers, man? Like, do they not understand? But I guess, you don't understand. And even when you should, when you have your own kids.
But like, truth be told, so Rich and Charlie both have children, but their kids, Rich's youngest is not that young, right? Is that fair to say?
No, his youngest is pretty young, probably like 7, 6.
Okay,
7.
so still relatively young. But Charlie doesn't understand whatever experience he had, like physically being with his kid, is not the same as yours.
Definitely not, because his daughter was in Jersey for most of her time. He would have her in spurts, and when he had her in spurts, he was away. Like, he couldn't really do much.
Right.
So I'm just like, shouldn't you like refer to that time period for yourself? Like,
can't you sympathize a little bit, because you was there too? But it's a fleeting thing, because once you're out of it, I have to imagine, because I sometimes I try to think like, all right, if I didn't have my younger two and it was just my 14-year-old,
right,
how different would life be? And I have to say, man, you forget so much shit that in the moment was like mad stressful. Because when your kids are like 12, you're gonna be like, oh, compared to now, oh, this is a fucking cakewalk now, because you built that habit. So these motherfuckers that do have kids in your crew, they're not gonna remember a lot of this shit, or they got circumstances where they don't have to necessarily be there all the time.
Right.
And that's the key. That's the also, you're really hard on yourself, I feel like.
I don't know. I don't know why you say that.
No, because with your parents, like your level of guilt is pretty high. Like, you run to guilt in a lot of the cases, which is understandable, but I think you could be a little more lenient about it.
Again, I don't understand where you're going from. Like,
I like how you were like, yeah. Fuck this guy.
I don't get it. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Look, me and my girl, we have combos, obviously, with my boys. I get frustrated with when they say stuff like that, because I'm just like, I kind of shut my boy down. I was talking to Rich in that conversation, and I'm like, yo, my man, if I hang out with you guys, what are we doing? We're going to go and get fucked up somewhere. We're going to drink and hang out and get fucked up. We're not going to go play golf sober, because we don't play golf and we don't stay sober. So I already have a job where I go out and I get fucked up. So I'm just compounding this thing that I already do anyways. Because Charlie was like, I don't want to have to go hang out with you at Drink Champs. I only got to hang out with you. Because I do the same thing with my social life that I do with my business life.
Right.
I try to like bring everybody together if I'm already going to be out or something. And so sometimes I'm mixing groups of friends that don't normally hang out with each other.
I've been there. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm doing it for convenience, but this is the way that I'm keeping a balance and sanity in my life, to be able to kind of do a little bit of everything. Because what?
I'm just thinking, I remember when I was in that situation, like you brought me around your crew.
Yeah.
And it was Paul. Did I tell you the story? Like,
what, Paul stepped to you?
I mean, not exactly.
Because Paul's the type of dude be like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Well, but if he brought you here,
he didn't say it, but he was mean mugging for the first, like the intro, like sniffing me out, like, all right, let me see what this dude's about to do. And I introduced myself. I said, what's up, whatever. And then after a few minutes, it was fine. But like, I noticed it. I was like, oh, he got pit bulls surrounding him to make sure shit is sweet. Because if it ain't sweet,
right. Yeah, and then the other thing too with Charlie, I mean, whatever. Actually, I'm not even gonna get into that because it's some other shit. But it's just funny how, like, and I know that I was kind of fouling my friends when they had kids. In this, but
I could imagine.
No, I was foul for different reasons.
Oh, okay.
In my mind, my reasons were valid because we were all young men trying to make something out of nothing and it was going to take all of our efforts together
Right.
to just squeeze 1 ounce of success out of all of our efforts put together, because it wasn't we didn't have finance, we didn't have money, we didn't have connections, so we had to all band together and make it work.
And geographically, you weren't in the right market.
Everything.
Yeah.
So when my friends at a very young age started to have kids, which wasn't, they didn't plan those kids,
right,
they could have avoided those situations. Now, obviously, no kid is an accident. We love all of our Crazy Hood God kids. You know, I love my God kids. I love Crazy Hood's for the kids. We love our kids here.
All right, Trick Daddy.
But I'm just saying, that was my thing. It's like, look, man, you put yourself in this predicament. This is on you. And I purposely was not having kids on purpose. I was purposely using something called a condom that my friends didn't know how to use. I was purposely using a condom and making sure I avoided busting inside or catching the fire dragon. Purposely trying to stay out of the hospital too. Like, come on, guys. You know, it's not rocket science. And so when they started to, okay, you get 1 kid, everybody slips up. You get a second kid? I guess the second one's a slipping charm. You get a third and you keep going? Nah, bro, come on. So that's where I was hard on my friends. I'm like, yo, my man, don't come to me talking about you want to do this, that, and the other with Crazy Hood, and then you having all these kids, and then use the kids as an excuse as to why you can't do it when you should have never been in this predicament to start with.
Right. Yeah.
If your priorities were certain things. Now, if you're like, I don't give a fuck that shit, bomb, 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 shoot up the club. You know, I don't care if I'm financially stable, bomb, 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 shoot up the club. Hey, bro, to each their own. But that was where I was coming from with giving my friends a hard time.
Yeah.
Because I, in my mind, was sacrificing having a family on purpose. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till I do these things that I really want to do so I could be out here in these streets till I'm mentally more mature, I think, for it. And in my mind, it's like, I love my kids so much, I'm not going to have them yet. That's the way I was thinking.
That's the way you were convincing yourself. But do you think, if you're honest with yourself now, and you look back, obviously I'll call it the following the career or trying to create, you know, the way you have was really important. It drove you to do what you've been doing. But do you look at it like, I could have had my kids sooner now at the place you are? Or do you look at it like, man, I could have held out a little longer before I had my kids?
I definitely don't. I mean, look, that's a hard question because you could say everything, but everything changes. So it's like, yeah, I could say now, oh man, I wish I could do A, B, and C things because these opportunities have arisen, and having a family, I can't do that. But no, because also let's just say just age alone and just energy levels and how, you know, how I feel like I don't want to be that fucking, you know, I already got a white beard. I don't want to be the straight up grandpa and have little kids.
Right.
You know, I don't think that's fair to the kids.
So you had that, right. I agree with you 100%. Like you're, I don't know, if you're 55 having your first kid, like that puts them at a big disadvantage because you only got so many years to really
it's not fair to them. You know, it's not, and you're not going to enjoy them as much. And then having them before, yeah, I could think about that as well. But again, if I didn't grind a certain way that I had a certain freedom before, I might not be here today with the opportunities I have today.
Got it.
It's just, you know, I'm in a industry, in a career space that is it's very fluid and it's very unpredictable, and you have to kind of follow leads as they come. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just lucky that I've been able to make a living, and I'm lucky to be able to provide. And of course I worry about, you know, what's the next steps? What are the things? How do I create generational wealth? How do I make sure that I have the backup, you know, plan in case, you know, this falls apart or this ends or this whatever. And so, you know, those are the things that I'm always thinking about and worried about. But I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything that I could change in terms of having a family right now.
Okay. So it just
Or
happened.
that I would change.
Fair.
And what about you? Like, are these things that have ever plagued you? Am I only asshole in the fucking world that deals with this shit?
You know that you and I are very different.
yeah, I know that.
I am to a fault, like somebody who's like a dreamer and is more optimistic, sometimes irrationally so.
AK come pinga.
No, more como mierda than come pinga, but yeah. So
you come something that somebody doesn't want to eat.
So I don't. So me having my kids when I did felt a little late to me. Like I felt like I should have had my kids, I don't know, around age 25. I should have probably started popping some kids out. But in retrospect, could I have made it to where I'm at now? Possibly. But I think the deck would have been stacked. So I think the foundational relationships that I had at that age, like with a partner, weren't stable enough for me to have kids and then have that be like a successful situation for the kids, long term.
Right.
So, similarly, like it just happened when it needed to happen. It was a little later. I was always looking like, all right, latest like 28, 30. And, first one came a little bit after that, but nothing really changes now. Like definitely not later. Like having them later be too much about me, but I always wanted to have multiple kids. So it was just a matter of time for me.
And you still want to have kids, of course, more kids.
I would have another. Right. But see, this is an interesting, because when we first started the podcast, damn, it's been 3 years, bro. We should celebrate that. 3 years.
And my daughter is 3.5, so she was just born.
She was just born. That's right. So when we first started the pod, I was like dead ass, like, yo, I want a fourth kid. And as time has passed, I'm realizing more and more. Also, the fourth kid, the chaos that would create, because this was my weekend, just to give you a sense. My eldest was playing in a basketball tournament 2 days of the weekend. My son was, I forget what the hell, he had some activity. My youngest was kind of there in limbo. And so we're running back and forth, trying to figure out who can take care of the one that's not with us. COVID restrictions don't allow all of us to go to these games. So we're like shuffling around. If I had a fourth to contend with, and if he or she was like an infant, the complexity of the situation would just be, I don't even know how to deal with it. So I think it's a saving grace that right now, we don't have that, as a thing to contend with. But if I could go through the baby phase again, I think we would.
Okay, you're crazy, but to kind of go back to what I was saying and put it in your life, how much of a social life do you have right now?
Nothing near what yours is. Very.
What do you mean what mine is?
Well,
mine is,
because
take away my work.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm talking about like what my conversation with my homies. Like, yo, we don't hang out no more. Like he just wants to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of just hang out with your homies do you have?
Maybe a couple times a month, if I really push myself to it.
A couple times a month. See, you're more than me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I tell my boy, I'm like, yo, bro, you get to hang out with me if you want to, but he doesn't want to do it under those restrictions of where he's at my work.
But I understand that too, because it's not really hanging out, because you're in the mix.
No, absolutely. And this is the thing that I try to tell my girl that it's hard for her to accept. I actually need to decompress by hanging out with my boys without it being work.
Yeah, I get that too.
I actually want to have a couple drinks and just chill and laugh and talk shit with my boys where it's not in the work environment or having to do with anything with my work.
Yeah.
It's needed. It's something that I need.
I'm not a doctor, but like from not self-esteem, what's the word? Oh, sanity. Like that aids you in being sane, because the context is very different. It looks to the person on the outside like it's all fun and games, like you're having the time of your life. But the truth, like it's a whole different dynamic, and there's a sense of I'll say like safe space about you being with your boys that's even totally different from you being with your partner.
Yeah.
And that's necessary. Like I always encourage my lady. I'm like, yo, go.
Right.
Like there's an opportunity for you to go and hang out with whoever you want to hang out. Go. Because I know that's going to benefit you and ultimately us, for you to have that freedom.
Right. And it's like a release. You're like releasing steam. You know, you're having those belly laughs that you don't normally have because of an inside joke that you and your boys have that just came up, and like those things, like they say that when you laugh, it's like you're adding hours or whatever to your life.
Yeah.
Like you know how de-stressing that is to have those kind of carefree moments with your boys.
It's really hard for you to build that into your schedule today, right now.
Well, what I was telling my boy, I was like, what they have to understand is that I feel that it's because I have small children that makes it a lot harder for me right now.
Yeah.
And another thing too is, like God forbid, no one's ever really said this, but they might be like, oh, maybe, his lady's kind of like making him stay or this, that, the other. Of course, she doesn't want me to go anywhere, but no, it's me wanting.
Yeah.
Like I told my girl, I was like, I'm so involved with the kids, and I'm so used to a certain schedule with them that it's difficult for me to want to leave them. For me, it's nobody else but myself. And it does get in the way of how I look at my schedule. And I'm one of those people that just think every crazy scenario that can go down. So I'm just like, and I look and I see reality. I see people
plays out. Yeah.
That this such and such thing happened to them out of nowhere. And you're just like, yo, like, is it really worth going out for shits and giggles? No, it's not. No, I'm just saying it like on a super regular basis.
Oh yeah.
Like from what we and you were talking about, from a de-stressing and needing to kind of let loose a little bit. Yeah, what I'm saying? Like me and my boys have this tradition where we get together on our birthdays. Well, me and Charlie and Drain and Rich mainly. We try to involve everybody else, but they don't give a damn about this tradition. And we go to Hibachi, and we will have dinner, and then we'll go to a bar and have a couple drinks after. And that's been our tradition. But this year we haven't been able to get together. They're blaming me. They're saying my schedule is rough. I'm telling them, like the last time we did, I was like, okay, I could go, but it has to be after I put my daughter to sleep, which kind of like was a little difficult, but we did it. But that's I feel like that's a fair, easy thing to say. Okay, we can do that. It's like we have like one birthday every quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we've had a hard time this year knocking it out. And I'd tell them it's because of the age of the kids right now. I feel that it's a little different. When they're a little older, when they're both in school, maybe, things will change up. But
what about because I'm assuming your schedule is the most different of the rest of the crew as far as like work, needing to be at work. It's more close to 9 to 5 for the rest of them. For you, it's kind of like all over the place.
It's kind of all over the place for everybody. Like,
oh, okay.
Like Charlie, he works remote, but it's kind of 9 to 5, but remote. And he's on call.
So there's opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. Rich is hustling. He does all kinds of things. So he's all, he's all over the place. My other boys own restaurants and work that, and other people are between jobs, and so some work with me. So
yeah, I got to figure out like a monthly, like, yo, this is the window of time that we're going to get together. Everybody agree.
I mean, with the entire crew, that's rough. Because
no, I know, of course. But I'm saying, like, if you guys allocated just a window of time, kept that shit consistent on your schedule, whoever can show shows, it's at least an opportunity for people to plan around far enough in advance where shit's always going to happen.
But
you have that window set.
but this is what's crazy. I created those that was built into what I had for Crazy Hood. Every Wednesday we got together.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And every Wednesday you had an average of 8 to 10, 8 out of 10 people showing up.
Plus, it's pretty high for Miami because you guys are a bunch of flakes in Miami.
But it was consistent, you know what I'm saying? And then, and then we had like all kinds of outsiders that would come in and come hang out. But out of the crew was at least 8 to 10 out of 10 people.
This is when y'all used to do the push-ups and shit for somebody showing up late, or
push-ups. What the fuck are you talking
about? I heard some stories about Crazy Hood.
Push-ups?
There was like penalties for, I forget.
Oh, that was early on. That was way earlier. Yeah, that's another thing. That was okay. Yeah, that goes back to that. We would have those meetings. Those are the Kinko boardroom meetings. Yeah. If you came late, push-ups, or you had to pay dues.
Right, there you go.
And we were broke, so everybody had to do mostly push-ups. So I mean, we did that. It's just now it's just different, bro. It's different. And then with like what I do for work is so random too. So that gets in the way of a lot of things. Yeah, bro, it's a little stressful because you never want to feel like when when you really care about when your friends are like your family.
Yeah.
You don't want them to feel like they're being neglected either. And I'm very much of the idea of my friends are my family, and they've, of course my kids are priority, and my family at home is priority number one. But I'm never going to neglect these people that are a part of my life. It's like, it's my family.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, you want to take care of them, but it's hard. It's a hard balance.
I mean, you have it's a beautiful thing the way Crazy Hood came to be and the way you guys are today. Because I always look at it from the outside, and I'm always like, yo, to grow together the way you guys have and maintain the bond that you guys have today, you guys are like a unicorn. Like, this shit doesn't happen very often. Well,
it's weird that people tell us that. I just don't see why it's so hard for people to maintain their friendships.
It's the level of honesty you guys have with each other and the loyalty. Like, it is blind faith for the most part that I can see from the outside, right? Like, you guys might get mad at each other, talk the most craziest shit to each other, but yo, anything goes down or anybody needs anything, the whole team just fucking
absolutely,
like Voltron, right? So like, and people grow up with their crews on their blocks in their neighborhoods or whatever, but it's you guys, even though you guys like don't get together as often as you might have before, like when I visit Miami, I still see it. Like, and y'all might be in passing, like, so like also show up, which seems like you guys didn't see each other for a minute, and it's like you literally pick up right where you left off.
Yeah, shit talking to each other.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Right. No, for sure.
Like, it's a great like example of like what a cruise should be, right? And so, all that to say, like, I think it does sort of fall on you because you're the one that's probably most engaged with their kids right now at this moment because of the age of the kids and your particular circumstance. So you got to figure out how to peel a sliver of time, not necessarily at the disadvantage of your kids, but just in general, the totality of your schedule to try and accommodate. Because the reality is, you'll say, yo, here's my window of opportunity. This is the time, which you probably do already. Then it's up to them to actually show up and be able to do that. Because it feels like your schedule has the most complexity to it.
Right. I mean, look, I agree with everything you're saying. It's just, it's easier said than done because
100%.
When you deal with day-to-day changing schedules,
yeah,
you can plan you can plan your ass off and not come through. But see, that's why I've always been big on having a headquarters so that everybody knows there is a place to go.
Central meeting place.
Yes, this is our clubhouse. And I've always tried to maintain it in some way, whether it was the Kinko's what you call it, the conference room, whether it was Crazy Goods, the store, even before Kinko's, it was my DJ room. Or whether it was the warehouse, whether it was the Viscane apartment that we had an office in, or this spot that I'm in now. That was always important to me, because that was like, look, if all else fails, we can meet here. You can come here. This is Crazy Hood. This is your clubhouse. So yeah, but circling to a different place, a little bit relatable. It was really dope for me, being a godfather of one of my friends' kids. Well, I'm godfather to the oldest, but all three of his daughters I've taken on as my godkids.
Right.
I don't, whatever. So I was able to have my goddaughter come to Drink Champs, to the Alicia Keys episode, which is coming out this week.
Which one? The veterinarian?
No, that's the oldest. That's Kiara. That's the one I actually baptized.
Right.
But the other two is Didi and Aaliyah, and Didi's in town. The other two are
that's right.
Kiara's in Jersey, and Aaliyah's still in New York. Didi's here in Miami, living with Paul. So she was able to come through with Paul as well, and my girl was there too. And it was just a special moment. Like, and it also it's like when you like, you say how crazy life is in time and stuff. It's like this baby that I went to the hospital when she was born. And then now she's here having a beer at Drink Champs as a full-blown adult, watching Alicia Keys, and also the opportunity to be able to give that opportunity to her.
Yeah.
And she was like one of the only, Paul actually somehow sneaked in, but she was one of the few people that was able to get a solo picture with Alicia, because I went out of my way to pull her in to get a picture.
Wow.
And then that's just so, it's so dope to me to experience that and to be able to do that and to share, where these kids used to come to our office and they would call it music work, and they were little kids, and I got pictures of them on turntables, and now they're adults and they're kind of like experiencing it.
That's pretty ill.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool.
I always wonder, like, will my kids appreciate or even understand the shit that I do career wise or just on a day to day that affords us kind of, and then the opportunities that they end up, taking advantage of? How do you look at that on your end with your own kids? I think for your kids, it might be a little easier to connect the dots just because of the media exposure. I mean, the front end of it, the back end, to get to that place is tough.
The funny shit is, I have like stickers of me and fridge magnets, so they like look at it. So they're almost used to seeing images of their father, like posters. That's got to be weird, I would imagine, for a kid, but maybe they don't know what weird is because it's normal.
For them, it's normal.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like my daughter is going down the same line as my godkids, where she's like, "Oh, your work," and she knows where the office is. Like when we drive by, I'm like, "What is that?" She goes, "Oh, that's your work." And I go, "Music work?" She goes, "Yeah, music work." And then what she's being exposed to more, which I think is interesting, being in the phase I am in my career, is that where like my goddaughters and all my other friends' kids came around the office, and it was the turntables and the records, and that's what I was usually on the turntables, and we were usually recording music. My daughter's coming to my office, and we're recording a podcast, and she'll sit on my lap, and there's a microphone right there in front of me, and we're talking crap. So she's experiencing something a little bit different, So it's pretty cool, man. What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Before we get out of here. I want to get your reaction to this. So we're coming out with a Drink Champs kids book. Did I tell you this?
Actually, no. That's not what the reaction. This is my reaction.
Really? That's your reaction? Damn.
What are you guys gonna teach kids about as Drink Champs?
Listen, I was worried. I mean, I'm still not sure, but so we're doing it with the same creator of the book that they did the book with my son.
Oh yeah. Damn, what's the guy's name? I remember.
McBride, I think. Damn, let me. But yeah, I think McBride. So
yeah, Hedrick McBride.
Okay.
The book I Know My Rights, the Bill of Rights.
Yes. So he's the one that stepped to us to do it. It's called Kids Champs or Kid Champs.
Okay.
And I told him I have some reservations about this, because I don't know that people are what they're gonna say, like the relation to this show that drinks a lot. And I mean, I'm surprised at everybody's outlook on Drink Champs.
Mm.
Nobody seems to have the reservations that I, who do Drink Champs, have on Drink Champs. I don't understand it. I don't know if I'm in a different parallel universe. We're getting drunk and talking crazy shit sometimes, and vulgar shit isn't necessarily a family affair. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but so think about it like I understand where you're coming from in the context that you bring this up in, but if you boil it down, right? Like, this is you and your boys out in the backyard talking shit about hip hop,
for sure,
drinking, and your kids and your wife and whoever, they're just around. Like, that's kind of what this is.
No, you're right. And that's exactly what we were recreating. Not the backyard, more so the studio sessions, the backstage banter.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we were trying to recreate. And it's exactly what I think has resonated with people. And that they feel that they can see their boys the same way. Like that, it's like them and their boys talking shit.
Right.
True. But to have a show that consistently is pushing the drinking aspect, I don't know. I mean, especially for kids, definitely not. This is not for kids.
Right.
The show's not for kids. I just worry. I just worry sometimes. I'm always like on edge, like, okay, who's gonna come at us eventually? When is this audience gonna turn on us? And there's been a couple times where it seemed like it might gonna happen, because it's just, and I'll talk to people that I almost, they're so like, I don't want to say holier than thou, but like, like educational people, or like people that work in activism or nonprofits or this, that you do, that I'm almost like, let me just address the elephant in the room, Drink Champs, I know. And they're like, oh, we love it. Yeah. And then like, what? No. What do you mean? It's amazing. It's great. Don't worry about it. No, but everybody drink. And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Like, it's weird to me, bro. And then like the shout out to the homie with the book. He's like, no, man, this is great. Like, this is perfect. You guys are perfect. And I'm like, yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm very intrigued. I want to see what Hedrick and you guys put together, because again, like, the obvious thing is like, damn, I don't want my kids knowing about drinking, but it's
definitely not about drinking.
Right.
It's just taking the idea of champs. And obviously, I mean, I get the idea. You take this kind of like popular brand, and maybe it attracts the parents because they know the brand, and maybe that's why they'll get it, but the content is very kid friendly.
Right.
So it's kind of like when you watch one of these animated movies and they say something that's kind of like racy, and only the adults get it, but the kids don't get the joke.
Right.
Something like that, So, they have like, I have like the animations, like it's kids at a table, like almost like podcasting. And it's like the fruit juices, like the box juices are on the table.
So that's on the way. I mean, in progress.
Oh, this is happening.
Oh, wow. We don't have a launch date yet, do we?
I don't know, but we're trying to, I know that we're trying to get it out for Christmas, for at least pre-orders on Amazon.
Oh, dope. Okay, good. Shit. Yeah. Can I get a copy?
Sure. I mean, this is the perfect platform to promote something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So Kid Champs coming soon to Amazon. Is that going to be your main channel of sale, do you think? You're going to have probably a website. All right.
No, mainly on Amazon. So yeah, I mean, listen, if you're a what do you think about Kid Champs? A book for children, a children's book, an animated children's book called Kid Champs. What do you think about that?
Buy the Drink Champs.
by Nori and EFN.
Yeah. Vote down below in the comments, or hit us with a review and let us know what you think on Apple. Really want to know how you feel about this and the podcast, Fatherhoods in general. Like, are you getting value out of what we talk about, or is this just bullshit for you?
Right. Shout out to Spotify on giving us that amazing recap of the year.
Recap of the year, yeah.
What two countries are new? Mexico and Israel?
Israel and Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah, shout out to our listeners in Israel and Japan and all. So we grew like 89% in 2021 as far as listenership. So pat yourselves on the back, everybody listening. Thank you.
Give us an applause, brother.
Yeah. Why not?
You don't have an applause?
What? You don't hear it?
Oh no, I didn't hear the applause. But all right. Oh, you know, how could we not mention our brother KGB not being here?
Yeah, we foul, bro. We are foul. Yo, shout out KGB. Again, organize the theme of today, like being able to like plan shit and do shit and execute. Like, you know, fatherhood got in the way today again.
Yeah, my girl gave me shit about not being on the last episode. She's like, "You're not on the last episode?" Like almost like, and she's like thinking like she's like, "What? Like why? Why are you not on?" And I'm like, "What do you mean why? Fucking our life is why."
Shout out to your lady too for understanding.
Yeah. No, she's the best.
All right, bro. Since now it's time to get out of here, let's get out of here.
Pizza con pepperoni.